Picture two identical people sitting at identical desks. For one of them, today looks exactly like yesterday. But the other person makes a microscopic adjustment and places a single book on the desk to read just one page. In the moment, the difference between them is completely invisible. This graph shows how that math plays out over a year. If you get 1% better each day, the habit compounds. By day 365, you don't end up twice as good. You end up nearly 37 times better. Welcome to Crimson Curio. Today we are breaking down the mechanics of James Clear's atomic habits to ask a very specific question. Can a microscopic daily adjustment actually rewrite the trajectory of a life? What the data reveals is that the most drastic personal transformations are rarely the result of a single massive push. They are the quiet, inevitable product of 1% daily choices accumulating over time. To test if this math actually holds up, we have to look at James Clear's own starting point. On a high school baseball field, a bat slipped from a classmate's hands, striking Clear directly between the eyes and shattering his skull. He was flown to a larger hospital and placed into a medically induced coma, eventually losing the ability to swallow or breathe on his own. In that state, setting an ambitious, long-term goal for recovery was a physical impossibility. Stripped of the ability to make any giant leaps, Clear had to rely entirely on microscopic physical routines just to function. Healing meant trying to walk a few steps, or simply sitting up in bed for a few minutes a day. When severe trauma or burnout strips away the illusion that we can make massive leaps, we fall back to our baseline. The only safety net keeping us from collapsing entirely is the architecture of our smallest daily habits. Most of us are taught that success requires setting massive goals. This ignores survivorship bias. In any competition, the winner and the loser have the exact same goal. The goal itself does not dictate the outcome. A goal is simply the desired destination. A system is the daily, mechanical process required to actually travel there. If you completely ignored your goal and focused only on the system, you would still make progress. This diagram shows how conventional goal setting works outside in. It focuses on the outer ring, the outcome, rather than the inner core of who a person is. You're trying to change your results without changing the underlying beliefs that caused them in the first place. This second diagram flips the flow. True change requires an inside-out shift, starting at the center, your identity. Instead of saying, I want to read a book, the shift is, I am a reader. You aren't born preset beliefs about yourself. Every time you lace up your running shoes or write a single line of code, you are casting a microscopic vote to prove that new identity to yourself. We do not rise to the level of our ambitious goals.
We inevitably fall to the baseline level of our systems. To automate that new identity, you have to manipulate the 4 mechanical levers of behavior change. Clear calls these the 4 laws. The first law is make it obvious. You have to physically alter your environment so the right choice is visually impossible to ignore. If you want to practice the guitar, put the guitar in the middle of your living room, not hidden in a closet. The second law is make it attractive. You can do this using habit stacking, pairing a difficult task you need to do with a reward you already want to do. For example, you only get to drink your morning coffee after you meditate for 60 seconds. This chart illustrates the third law, make it easy. Specifically, it shows the habit line, where a behavior crosses into automaticity, the point where you can do it without thinking. Notice the bottom axis is repetitions, not time. Using the 2-minute rule to scale any habit down until it takes under 2 minutes decreases friction. Increasing the frequency of those 2 minutes matters far more than how long you spend doing them. Finally, the fourth law, make it satisfying. The primitive human brain prioritizes immediate rewards over delayed ones. To encode a behavior for the future, you need to manufacture a small, immediate positive emotion the second you finish your habit. We often think people with good habits just have superhuman discipline, but discipline is mostly a myth. Lasting transformation is simply about aligning these 4 levers so effectively that good choices execute on autopilot. Let's apply this to a high-stakes reality. Whether you are building a system to prep for the UPSC or NEET exams, trying to code consistently, or mastering a new language, the initial friction is identical. This is the exact place where most people quit, because they see zero visible results after long weeks of effort. This chart shows the plateau of latent potential. The straight line is what we expect to happen, linear daily progress, but the curve below it is what actually happens. Highlighting the gap between them reveals the valley of disappointment. Think of it like heating an ice cube. If you raise the temperature from 25 to 31 degrees, nothing melts. But that energy wasn't wasted, it was stored. All the visible action happens the second you hit 32 degrees, breaking out of the valley in a sudden surge of progress. True success is never a finish line you cross. It is an endless, evolving process of refinement. You are continually optimizing the system, rotating through those 4 laws to find the next tiny friction point to eliminate. The small things you do today are literally constructing the identity you will inhabit tomorrow. Every page read, every rep finished, is a vote for who you are becoming. Thanks for watching Crimson Curio. If you want to keep casting votes for your own curiosity, hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.